Ever wonder how nature and a supportive community can empower sensitive souls like you to nurture empathy, find inspiration, and drive positive change? Stay tuned as we embark on a captivating journey into the creation of the Soulful Sisterhood in episode 23 of Give a Fuck, presented by Spark Consciousness. As always, I am your host, Sarah Woodard. I am a nature-centric badass dedicated to helping soul-searching, sensitive women like you feel safe and empowered to change their worlds through connection with nature, and the creator of Spark Consciousness. The purpose of this show is to help raise your awareness, connect with nature, and discover your purpose. My goal is to present valuable information about how you can define your values, uncover your purpose, and make a difference, and how nature helps you do this. Sometimes I also share other resources as I love to help you continue learning. And I've also recently started an occasional series of bonus episodes called Changemakers, which highlights the way everyday women just like you have been a force for positive change. And these are just randomly interspersed between the usual bi-weekly episodes. As a quick reminder, the spelling of Give a Fuck is F*K. And a humongous thank you to my existing patrons on Patreon. Please be sure to check that out. There's some great benefits there for you. And one of my favorites is that you can ask me anything you would like, any question at all, and I will answer it during a special segment on the show. So quick life update. I am still working towards this whole move to the Syracuse area. Looked at some houses, even almost made an offer on one, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't quite right. So I'm still looking. I've had those definite moments of like being super discouraged and feeling like this is never going to work, in part because Syracuse and New York in general have laws about how you must maintain your yard that are not really aligned with my personal beliefs and what I want to do with my yard that I pay taxes to have. There are ways around it. In some towns make it easier around it than others. And so it's finding that sweet spot of what's aligned and will let me do the things that I value and are aligned with me, and is also in the location and in the price range and all of that's finding that sweet spot. So we're still looking, but I'll keep you posted. So this is the section right here where I would answer your questions that were submitted. Since we did not have any, I just wanted to take this moment to quickly remind you of how Patreon works and what it is in case that's a new concept for you. So Patreon is basically like crowdfunding to do what back in the old days a rich benefactor would do. Like for Michelangelo, he had a patron, a quote unquote patron of the arts, you may be familiar with that term, who paid him whatever amounts of money he needed to live so that he could make his art. So Patreon is like the crowdfunding version of that. So instead of one person paying me however much money, a bunch of you get together and pay small dollars that equate to like maybe a cup of coffee or lunch for a couple days or whatever, and help support this effort with this podcast. So when you opt in and stick around, you'll get some really fun bennies in exchange for supporting me. Everything from submitting a question, which I would answer during this segment of the show, to discount codes for other offerings, and even some really great merch. You can see each of them on my Patreon page, which is linked in the show notes. And as with everything that comes through Spark Consciousness, 10% of every dollar goes to support charitable causes that help make the world a more compassionate place. Things like animal shelters or farm rescues, organizations that are focused on the environment in some way or another, or planting trees or whatever, things of that nature. The rest, in the case of the Patreon subscribers, the rest of it pays for hosting, other software and equipment if needed, and helping to keep the kitty babies happy while I ignore them to create each episode. And you may be hearing right now Toby in the background going a little bit bananas. I apologize. I do not have a way to exclude them from my record space in my current living situation. And he wants to be out on the balcony, but it's a little too chilly for me to open the door and do that right now. So he's going a little bit nuts. I apologize. Please bear with me. At least he's got some toys, thanks to my Patreon peeps, to keep him company. With all that said, let's move on to the Satan of the show. In a world that often feels turbulent and disconnected, finding a sense of community, compassion, and inspiration can be a huge lifeline, especially for soul-searching, sensitive women like us. Because we don't avert our eyes. Because we feel so deeply, we need a place to process everything together with people who understand us. So my journey as a soul-searching, sensitive woman, desperate for a place to find belonging and feel less alone with all of this heaviness in the world, led me to create a haven called the Soulful Sisterhood, where I provide that support and a safe place for you, and also for me, very honestly. So in this episode, I want to share with you my personal journey, as well as my qualifications, and the amazing benefits of having a sisterhood as a sensitive woman, whether you choose my sisterhood or find another one. It's just necessary. From a really young age, I felt a profound connection to nature and the natural world. I fondly remember a bush in my front yard that served sort of as a portal to my own magical realm. It grew in a circle and I could crawl inside it, and it was just amazing. It was this place where I was able to commune with Mother Earth and found solace. It was this refuge, and I just instinctively sought it out to escape the turmoil of my home life. I couldn't explain it back then because I was a little kid and we can't explain stuff, but since then, I've realized this connection with nature, it became the cornerstone of my life's work. And as I grew older and societal expectations led me away from this natural haven, it happens to all of us. It wasn't until my early 30s, after a series of devastating life changes, that I found myself drawn back into the loving arms of Mother Earth. And this really rekindled my bond with nature, coupled with a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. It paved the way for me to become the nature-based spiritual life coach I am today. So my journey into this role as a spiritual life coach, it also revealed to me a really pressing need, this urgency, if you will, to create a supportive community for individuals like me. Because just like me, many sensitive soul-searching women often feel overwhelmed by the weight of the world's problems. I and they, we wish for a space where we could share this burden of compassion and explore meaningful ways to create change. And as I searched for this, I discovered so many people who felt the same way, and none of us felt like any existing groups were really a good fit. They were so woo-woo out there, or really super toxic positivity, high vibes only, ugh. Or they felt really cliquey and unwelcoming. None of that's cool especially when you're super sensitive. And so that, combined with this growing sense of aggravation about the state of the world, almost made me say, fuck it, and just give up. I'm sure you've been there too, right? We all have those moments. But instead, I dug deep into a well of compassion I didn't even know I had. And I used my own journey of frustration and anger to create change, which eventually it transformed into a realization that I wasn't alone in my yearning for such a community. And since I consider myself a change maker, I could fix this. I could fill this need for a community that was the right fit. So just like Goldilocks found the right bed and porridge that were just right, quote unquote, for her, I could create a nurturing, supportive community that would be just right for sensitive women. And so this led to the creation of the Soulful Sisterhood, which is it's a virtual sanctuary where kindred spirits come together and share their experiences, nurture their inner strength, and collectively work towards positive change. Now, there's a lot of other groups out there, right? We've already talked about the differences between some of them, but another difference is who's leading them. That can make all the difference, right? It comes from the top. Anyone who works in the corporate world knows what comes from the top flows downhill. If it's good, it's a good place to work. If it's crap, it's a crap place to work. So what sets me apart as the leader for the Soulful Sisterhood is my unique blend of qualifications. Beyond my nature-based coaching expertise, I am a certified shamanic practitioner and a Reiki master teacher. And this combination of certifications, plus my own really deep wells of compassion, allow me to provide sisterhood members with holistic support for both their spiritual needs and their real-world endeavors to make a difference. And to me, you need multifaceted support. My vision for the Soulful Sisterhood is a group that will be supportive and empowering. I hope each and every member finds a supportive community within the group that helps her tap into her inner strength and wisdom. And then armed with this newfound sense of self, each sister can navigate the world with compassion and authenticity, seeking out and implementing the changes they wish to see, all while receiving unwavering support from the sisterhood. We've got your back, always. The specifics of what our get-togethers will look like on a monthly basis, those who join early, you're going to help me figure that out. And it may vary. Maybe one month we'll do a moon gathering, and another month we just all need to get together and just hold space to vent about something that went on. All of it is good. All of it is welcome. And those, like I said, early signers, we get to design this together. So although this is a new offering, the potential for it to foster personal growth and collective action is boundless. With my guidance and the shared wisdom of the sisters, it is poised to become a beacon of inspiration, empathy, and positive change in a world that yearns for more compassion and connection. It's time to stop carrying the burden to fix all the shit that's wrong with the world by yourself. Yuck. It's time to connect with a community of soulful women seeking to inspire positive change. It is time to have a group of sisters to support and walk with you as you work to navigate the world as a sensitive woman. Are you ready? I know you're ready. Join the Soulful Sisterhood today for just $12 a month. The doors and arms are always welcome to open new sisters to the tribe. And I really look forward to seeing you there. The link, of course, will be in the show notes. If you'd like to learn more about me or connect with me in some other way outside this podcast, you can find me on social media and on my website. All of those links are in the show notes as well. Assuming you're not sitting in front of your computer waiting for my cue to click on the link in the show notes and you would like a little reminder to come back and check out the Soulful Sisterhood, I'm going to give you a secret password, which today is Monkey, which also happens to be the name of one of my cats. You can also find it if you have a really good memory. The Soulful Sisterhood is also at sparkconsciousness.net/community. And again, the secret word is monkey if you want to sign up and you just need a little reminder. If your podcast platforms allow, I would really appreciate you taking a moment to rate the show. It really helps spread the word. In 2 weeks, we are going to talk about how to access the GPS to your inner wisdom. I look forward to seeing you then. And in the meantime, continue to expand your knowledge, feel the connections, and live with compassion.